June 6, 1944 saw Allied forces land on the Normandy coast in an event which has become known simply as D-Day. The Normandy landings saw American and British airborne forces land during the early hours of 6th of June to secure the flanks of the assault area before men were landed on 5 landing beaches codenamed from west to east Utah, Omaha, Gould, Juneau and Sword in what was the largest seaborne invasion in history. A monumental day in the history of the Second World War, many in Britain realised that the long-awaited invasion had been launched by the droning of aircraft overhead throughout the early morning hours and the absence of landing craft and ships from harbours and men and vehicles from camps and country lanes. The first report of the landings, however, was not received from Allied commanders observing events offshore, or from airmen above the invasion area, or from any of the press corps who had sailed with the invasion fleet. Rather, the first reports reached Britain via a pigeon called Gustav. Gustav was a grizzle-coloured cock pigeon trained by Frederick Jackson of Cosham, Hampshire. In 1938, Jackson and many other pigeon owners across the United Kingdom formed the National Pigeon Service, or NPS. The NPS was a volunteer civilian organisation which provided messenger birds for the war. In his military service, Gustav was also known by his service number, NPS 4231066. His early missions saw him carrying messages out of occupied Belgium for the resistance. On the 6th of June 1944, Gustav was on board an Allied landing ship tank, having become one of 6 pigeons given by the RAF to Reuters news correspondent Montague Taylor. Following the initial landings, Gustav was released by Taylor, who sent news back to Britain with the message, "We are just 20 miles or so off the beaches. First assault troops landed 0750. Signal says no interference from enemy gunfire on beach. Steaming steadily in formation. Lightnings, typhoons, fortresses crossing since 0545. No enemy aircraft seen." Gustav travelled the 150 miles to his loft at RAF Thorney Island in 5 hours and 16 minutes, while facing a headwind of up to 30 miles per hour. At RAF Thorney Island, his handler, Sergeant Harry Halsey, received him. Gustav's message was the first word of the invasion to reach the British mainland, due to the fleet undergoing radio silence at the time. Later that day, a fellow pigeon, known as Paddy, would also return to the British mainland carrying news of the success of the invasion. For this act, Gustav was awarded the Dickin Medal for bravery, considered to be the animal equivalent of the Victoria Cross, Britain's highest award for gallantry. Gustav was presented with the medal on the 27th of November 1944 by Mrs. A.V. Alexander, the wife of the First Lord of the Admiralty. The citation for his Dickin Medal read, "For delivering the first message from the Normandy beaches from a ship off the beachhead while serving with the RAF on June 6, 1944.
Mrs. Alexander, wife of the First Lord of the Admiralty, hears from Wing Commander Rayner the exploits of Gustav and Paddy, 2 D-Day carrier pigeons decorated with the Dickin Medal for gallantry, awarded by the People's Dispensary for Sick Animals.
Now, the first is Gustav. He was the first pigeon to bring any information from the as to the progress of the landing. His time was 5 hours 16 minutes on a badish day. The weather was British. Now that is Gustav. Have you a medal? There we are. the second one to be decorated is Paddy. Paddy made the fastest time of all the birds engaged in this operation. He came from Normandy, well to the south, in 4 hours 50 minutes. It was not on the same day as Gustav, so you mustn't compare the two times. But it was the fastest time of all the hundreds of birds engaged in the operation. By the way, Paddy, an Irish pigeon, was trained in England by a Scotsman with a Welsh assistant. and he carried his Normandy message for the Americans. Get it, one.
Paddy has much pleasure in decorating you for gallery.
Well, well, what do you know?
The Dickon medal was introduced in 1943 by Maria Dickon, the founder of the People's Dispensary for Sick Animals, also known as the PDSA. The medal was a means of recognising the work of animals during the Second World War and was first awarded on the 2nd of December 1943. The Dickon Medal was awarded over 50 times during the course of the conflict, with 32 of those awards being to pigeons. Each medal bears the words "For Gallantry" and "We Also Serve" within a laurel wreath. Following the war, Gustav was given back to Fred Jackson, his original trainer, together with his Dickon medal. Gustav died after the war due to old age. His medal was later donated to the Portsmouth D-Day Museum.
Many thanks for watching. Please subscribe for more updates, like and share. You can also help to support the channel at Patreon. Details are in the description box below.